care of a little bills here and there, so I'm good. But then when the trial comes, now I got to go back to praying to you. I got to go back to fasting. Yeah. So the trial is necessary to establish truth, because the truth that's in you is going to come out. So therefore, when that trial comes, that truth is being birthed up out of you. Because that truth is Allah God himself. Yes. So when you go within yourself, when you in that trial, it establishes that truth between you and Allah. Because when you go through that trial and you call on Allah and you say, okay, I know that you got me out of this. I know who you are in my life. I know what you can do for me. That's that truth. And when you speak truth to truth, then nothing but the truth comes out. Right. So therefore, Job began to let his wife know, no, I cannot. I can't just disregard Allah God and die right now. Right. Just because you feel a certain way, and maybe you're not used to me not being able to take care of you the way I used to take care of you. Do the things for you that I used to do. So now you want me to curse God and die because you're not being fulfilled and you're not being satisfied the way that you used to me satisfying you. So now why should I die?
That's right.
Because you're not being fulfilled and satisfied.
Good.
And then after that close encounter with the one that's close to you, then here come your friends. The three friends of Job come along.
Come on.
Now we're gonna get together because something going on with Job, and we know that Job is an upright man. So maybe he did something wrong. Maybe he sinned.
Yeah.
And we all know that we don't have to sin in order for Allah God to consider us to Satan.
That's right.
It's because we're living upright. It's because we're living just. Because if we were sinning, then he don't need to consider us.
That's right.
Because he know that Satan already has us.
That's right.
But his three friends come from different places, come to him. Now they want to get together and they want to pray for him. But they see him from afar off and didn't even recognize who he was.
That's right. Come on.
Because he was covered from head to toe with his boils. So they begin to weep. They begin to cry. And sometimes, our friends, they are sincere. And they will hang in there with us for a little while. Once they realize what we're going through and what's going on with us, and then they try to rationalize and they'll cry with us for a minute, and then they'll pray with us for a minute, and then they try to figure out, well, what did you do? Did you do anything? Or what didn't you do? And then they want to make sure that you did do this or you didn't do that, and they want to try to figure it out for you. And Job had to go within himself, and he got silent, and he sat for days without saying anything. And then he began to go within himself and shut down and begin to get bitter. And he began to curse the day that he was born. And he said, may the day perish on which I was born, and the night in which it was said, a male child is conceived. May that day be darkened. May God above not see it, nor the light shine upon it. Yes. May darkness and the shadow of death claim it. See, Job was going through a real deep, detrimental phase in his life. And I know that we all can bear witness because something so tragic has happened to us in our lives where we felt the same thing as Job, and we wanted to curse the day that we was born.
That's right.
Lord, why did I have to be born? Why did you let me come through my mother's womb? If I had to face and go through this. But if Allah God would have shown you what you had to go through before, then you wouldn't have even wanted to come on the planet Earth. You wouldn't have even wanted to face what he was giving you. But because shaped and formed you in the womb, and he knew you before then, He already put purpose in you, because he will put nothing on you that you cannot bear. So if he's allowing you to go through it, if he's considering you to Satan, then surely he has equipped you to handle that and to go through that. So Job had to go within himself, and this is the time now that he was going through that metamorphosis state. And see, sometimes when we go through our deepest, our darkest, our most painful experience, just like Allah God did when he created himself in triple darkness, because this right here, it was dark. This right here was Job's triple darkness experience. So when we have our triple darkness experience, can't nobody, whether it be friend, mom, father, nobody can help us in this. This right here is just between us and Allah God himself. So when he went through the bitterness, when he went through all these different emotions that he went through, just like Allah God did in creating himself. See what was taking place, you know, like when you take pictures, and you're a photographer, and you take pictures, the pictures has to be developed in the darkness, because if light gets exposed to the pictures, then it can mess the pictures up. So in that darkness, that's when the most beautiful things are developed. But you have to be in that dark place in order for the beautification of what is being birthed out of you to take place. So Job had to go within himself in that dark place in order for Allah God to deal with him, in order for him to go through those emotions. Because what good is it you telling somebody the goodness of Allah God and what he can do if you had not been in that dark place yourself? How can I tell you that Allah God is good, Allah God is great, and he can deliver you out of whatever you're going through if he have not yet delivered me, if he have not yet set me free? So when Job's friends began to come to him and begin to remind him, you was the one that used to say that God is, he's a good God, he's a deliverer, he can do this and he can do that, and he has healed me from my sickness, healed me from my diseases. And this is what the friends are telling Job. You know, you were the one who helped us out and said that God can do what the impossible. He can make it. You know, we can make it if we believe in him, if we put our trust in him. So now here you are saying that you cursed the day that you was born, but yet and still you telling us that we should believe in God, the God that you said that specialize in the impossible. So sometimes our friends, they will come and give us the very word back that we have given to them. And we have to take that in consideration, just like Job did. And when he went within himself and he began to meditate on God, he began to remember all the things that God had done for him. And he still yet never once cursed Allah God. So he began to go within himself, and he began to perform a self-exorcism. And he began to check himself to see, well, what is it that I have done? You know, I know that I'm good. I know that I'm not evil. I know that I have not invited evil upon me. So what is it that I have done to cause this to come upon me? Have you forgotten me? Have you just decided to just have a heart of flesh? Have you decided to become like a mortal man and forget who I am and what I have done? But yet and still through all of that, and even though Job complained within himself, and his complaint was that I am just. I have done the works that you have allowed me to do. I have been obedient. And sometimes we have to give Allah God back his word. We have to allow Allah God to know that, hey, listen, I have done what you have commanded me to do. I am obedient to you, I am a child of yours. And sometimes we have to encourage ourselves. Because sometimes it's going to be no one around to encourage you for you. So we got to encourage ourselves. But Job knew that he knew without a shadow of a doubt who Allah God was in his life. And he was willing and he was okay with having everything taken from him and still being able to serve God and say, yes, I love you. Yet, though they slay me, yet I will still trust in you because I know who you are in my life. I know what you mean to me. Even though I came in the world naked will I go out because I know it all belongs to you. So with or without the material things, with or without my children, with or without my knowledge, I still belong to you. You're in control over everything. So therefore, my trust is in you. Have your way with me. Do whatever you want to do with me. Because whatever Allah God has permitted to happen to us in our lives from birth up until now, he meant it for our good. It's to bring the best out in us. How can you expect a diamond to shine if you go to a coal mine and dig it up and you can't even see the diamond because it's in the midst of rubbish and it has to go through that purification process in order for that diamond to shine as beautiful as it is, and any other jewel for that matter. How can we expect to get that bling out of us, so to speak? Or how can Allah God see the bling that's within us or see himself within us? Because that's all it is. Allah God is within us and it's reflecting back to him. So when that sun shines on that diamond and you see the different rays and the different iridescent colors, that gives it that bling that makes it so attractive that we want to wear it on our finger, put it around our neck. That's just a reflection of Allah God. And that's the same thing within us. That shine, that bling within us. It's allowing Allah God to shine within us. So go ahead and stay in that process and get polished up so that Allah God can actually use you. So that you can be a testimony like Job, a living example of what Allah God has in store for you. Because the only thing he's doing is bringing us closer to him. Is allowing us to become one with him. And through the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the blueprint is already set. So all we have to do is follow it. All we have to do is eat and partake of their word. Take on a new mind state. Let's look at ourselves from the lens of Allah and stop looking at ourselves as the way the enemy has shaped, molded, and created us to be. Because we are indeed the chosen people of God. And because he came 9,000 miles for us, the least we can do is show him that we care. The least we can do is show him that we appreciate what he has done for us by coming to save a wretch like us. So don't get weary in well-doing. And it's okay if you have not reached the goal to where you was or where you thought you should be. Because Allah God right here, right now, today, is giving all of us another chance to get a little closer to him. To become one with him. So all praises are due to Allah. So no matter what you feel like your shortcomings are, no matter how off the mark you feel like you is right now, Allah God is still the one that's on the throne. He's still the one that sits high and look low and hold all power in his hands. That can do and that can specialize in the impossible. He said, try the God. Have you tried him lately? Have you prayed to the God? And do you believe in what you're praying? Or do you believe in the God that you're praying to do what he said he was going to do? So try him. Cry out to him. Cover yourself in ashes. Submit to him. Bow down and pray to him. And give him a chance to be the God that he was created to be and answer him. And allow his word to become true. And allow his word to be born in your life. Because he's a God that will never fail. He's closer to us than our jugular vein. If he did not want for us what he wants for himself, then we wouldn't be here. The circumstances and situations that he have allowed us to go through, and some of the things that we have even put ourselves in, he's still here to help deliver us out of them. Because he loved us just that much that he will leave the 99 and go after the one. And you are that chosen one that he is coming after today. So I thank you for listening, and I greet you with the green word of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum. And I bring Brother Gerald back up to the podium.
And she said she was nervous.
I couldn't tell.
I don't know what I'm going to talk about. It don't sound like it. See, when you're born with a gift, it comes natural.
Yes.
And that was a beautiful sermon that Sister Carmelita gave to us this morning. It edified us all.
That's right.
So that deserves an encore. It deserves another round of applause. At this time, we would like to acknowledge our first-time guests who have came out and joined us today. Brother, is it Whitney Francis? Brother Francis. Brother Francis. Look at Brother Francis. A round of applause. Brother Luke Williams. Brother Williams. Let's give Brother Williams a hand. Brother Winfield. Brother Winfield. Brother Marino. Okay, he stepped out. Brother Harris. Let's give Brother Harris a hand. And Brother Hines. Brother Hines. And we got Sister Sandra Green. All praises to our first-time guest. And I do have a question for our first-time guest this morning. If we could just get all of y'all to stand just for 1 minute, so we can see your beautiful faces. Beautiful faces. All praises to the Lord. Just have two quick questions. What you heard from the rostrum this morning, from Sister Carmelita and those who presented before her, do you believe it to be good and true for our people? If you believe what you heard is good and true for our people, could I see by a show of hands? All praises due to Allah. And the final question is this. You know, we as black people, you know, we've been dependent on everybody else to provide for us. And we want to get to a point where we can provide for ourselves. We want our own grocery stores. We want our own schools. We want our own hospitals. We want our own land. And this is what we're doing in the Nation of Islam. And would you like to get behind us and Minister Farrakhan to help us get our own schools, our own land, our own hospitals, accept yourself and be your own? If you'd like to do that, could I please see by a show of hands? All praise is due to Allah. Allah Akbar. And for those of you who raised their hands, let's see our brother Paul right here, and he'll take you to the back, just have you fill out, you know, a few questions on the paperwork. So you may be seated. So once again, we'll see you in the back now. We want to shake the hands of our first time guests. So since Sister Carmelita, can she come out? Yeah. We want to just let her shake the hand.
No, she can't.
I'll shake the hand. See, I'm still learning, y'all. Let me shake the hand of the first time guests. All who raised their hand. And y'all continue to come back because you are all family.
That's right.
And we care about our family.
That's right.
So at this time, we're going to go into the portion of the program dealing with charity and announcements. Brother Artez, are you doing the charity today? All right, let's give our brother, our hard-working student secretary, Brother Artez, a round of applause for charity.
Let's give another round of
Round of applause for Sister Carmelita. I ain't gonna lie to the most merciful. I wish there's no God but Allah that Muhammad is his messenger. I wish you all the good words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I'll be brief. We have a meeting at 1 o'clock, so I want to progress fairly quickly through our charity portion. I'd like to read a surah, verse number 2, surah number 2, verse number 277. And it states, those who believe and do good deeds, and keep up prayer, and pay the poor rate, their reward is with their Lord, and they have no fear, nor shall that grieve. Allah will blot out usury, and He causes charity to prosper. And Allah loves not any ungrateful sinner. So in line with what we heard today in a message, let us be steadfast, no matter what we're going through. Let us all make sure that we support our local mosque, our local minister with our finances, our support, and our hard work. And with that, let us pass our substance. With that, I'd like to move into our announcements. We need some help with our local charities. I just want to remind everybody that we have a goal of $40 per believer per month for our local charities. So just make sure you support that initiative and come back to Secretary Department to help with that. Our general announcements, we have our FY class tomorrow in Muhammad Mosque number 15A, starting at 7:30. So brothers, please come to support that. Every Wednesday at 7:30 we'll have our local study group here today, so please come here to support that. And Friday also at 7:30, so please come and support those three. For the sisters, your class is at Muhammad Mosque 15A at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. Make sure you support that as well. And every Sunday we'll be here, same place, same time, starting here at 11 a.m. for your Sunday meeting. Everybody who's been here for your first time guests, we have a cup of bean soup for you. So right there at the window, please go get 3 cups of bean soup.
That's right.
Anything else? Anybody else have any announcements? And with that, I think that's it. Short and brief. Thank you for your support, and please continue to support your mosque. With that, I'd like to bring up Brother Gerald to close out in prayer.
If there are no more announcements or comments, we will stand for closing prayer.
Prayer.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment in which we now live. In Thee do we serve, and Thee alone do we beseech in Thy help. O Allah, guide us on the right path, the path upon whom Thou hast bestowed Thy favors upon us, but not the path upon whom the wrath is brought down against us, nor of those who goes astray. Amen. Amen. Brothers, preacher brothers, sisters, preacher sisters, you're now dismissed. Allahu Akbar.
Thank you for coming today.